Hi everyone, just continuing on here with video 7. I didn't squeeze it all into my half-hour kind of time allowance that I'm trying to get these videos done in last week. So I thought I would just do a second kind of edition of that and continue on with ways to heal the physical body naturally. So if you are just joining me, we're up to, this is about video 8 now, and it's a holistic healing video series based on my first-hand experience facilitating holistic healing retreats for the past 10 years, and then everything I've learnt along the way studying Don Tolman's work and healing with whole foods and ancient wisdom. So in the last video I spoke about, how we teach our child to draw its first house, and we actually have no idea of the history behind that, but anciently that was a symbol of our living body temple, but also they named this the tree of life. So I think I had a little bit wrong last time. I called it the torso instead of the trunk. So I quickly scribbled that out for you. So you should be able to see that the triangle up the top was limbs, joints and trunk, and then the square down the bottom was what they knew as mother's angels of air, fire, earth and water. And that actually spelt a few, meaning a few there would be that would actually find it and sort of understand the powerfulness of that and incorporating that into our life in order to keep our body healthy and whole for the duration of our life. So this became, the basis of the principles of health. So yeah, I just wanted to touch on that again because I had a little bit wrong last time with the torso and the trunk. But that's why it was called the Tree of Life. So I wanted to speak a little bit more about water fasting. I only touched on that very briefly last time, and just the powerfulness of water fasting. So here we've been facilitating or supporting water fasting retreats for the past 4 years. Many of my clients have come here and we've done little 5-day retreats or 7-day water fasts, or for some 10-day water fasts. So the changes that you see even in 5 days is absolutely incredible. I try to encourage people to do at least 5 days because for most people they have to see it to believe it. And what I've noticed is on 3 days you're just kind of getting over the worst of the detox a lot of the time, and then you're coming out of it. So you don't actually get to see, the amazingness of water fasting. Whereas at 5 days, you can really see and really feel in the body the changes that have taken place. So it's said that a 3-day water fast is enough to basically reset every single system in the body. So it's still very powerful and you're doing absolute amazingness for yourself when you do a 3-day water fast. But if you really want to be able to see and feel what's taken place in the body, if you can just push through and do another 2 days, you'll really see some amazing, you'll be a testimonial to yourself. And I'm going to post some before and after pictures here. The ancient wisdom around water fasting was that 1 day of fasting on water would heal or clear toxicity from 1 whole year of your life. And that's why they said a 40-day water fast would actually clear a lifetime of toxicity, even if you were over 40. So you could do 40 days of fasting and all of that toxicity of your life, eating all the bad things, the wrong things, and just, breathing this toxic air, everything I spoke about in the last video, that would be kind of wiped clean from your body if you did a 40-day water fast. So we've actually, I know that sounds absolutely unbelievable and undoable or unachievable, but we've seen that firsthand here, people sitting in the jungle here and fasting for 40 days on just water. And yeah, pretty amazing stuff. We had just year before last year, a young guy, Sinclair, he came and sat for 40 days and fasted. And then at the end of that, he even went on and did grape juice fasting for, I don't know, I think it was an extra 2 weeks or maybe even more than that. So I remember when he came I saw him for the first time at the completion of his fast. We were laughing because his eyes just looked so big and his teeth looked so big because his face was so little. But hey, Sinclair. Yeah, I'm going to tag him in this one. So another friend of mine, Steve, he's done several 40-day fasts as well. So, you know, not just one, but several. Don has completed 6 40-day water fasts, and at the end of one of those fasts there was a movie, like a TV station there or something, that wanted to record him, and so he actually got up. I think he said he drank a litre of grapefruit juice or something like that, and then got up and ran a marathon. So myself, I've completed 13 now 10-day water fasts, so that's nothing but water for 10 days. And yeah, I can assure you at the end of that, your body is strong enough to keep going. It will be the mind that will want to give in and taste something. But your actual body is, I know for a fact I could definitely keep going for, I don't know how much longer, but easily another week. Another girl that was living here, Becky, she actually went up to the top of the waterfall and fasted for, I think it was about 28 days on water, but she really felt that that was, you know, well and truly enough for her body, and, you know, came down at that point and began to eat, or to take in some juices and some honey, and yeah, but yeah, so it's very doable, especially for men. The 40-day fast seemed to be quite achievable. Don always suggests for women that we break it up and we do our fasts 10 days at a time and every 3 months. So four times a year for 10 days, and that would give you your 40 days of fasting, which when I first started my this journey of water fasting, that's exactly what I did. So every 3 months I did 10 days, and it was really interesting because I felt like I was just picking up from where I took off. It was just going deeper and deeper. And what you find when you incorporate water fasting with some, I always encourage daily enemas because it's very powerful, the fasting and eating away all that bad stuff. So if you're not like eliminating, then that's just circulating in the body and is able to be reabsorbed. So I always suggest or really encourage my, you know, anyone I'm supporting on a water fast to do daily enemas or salt flushes also. And it's really inspiring because once you hit about day 6, you can see and actually smell like the putridness that's coming out of your body. And even if, you know, after all of these fasts, I still notice on day 6 I'm going into a much deeper cleanse. Sometimes it's even on day 5 for me now because it's, I think most of the toxicity's gone. So then my body's just, you know, healing itself. And another thing I didn't get to cover last time was the psychosomatic, or like basically taking a holistic approach to healing. So I thought I would give a few scenarios on how to heal the body holistically. So say if where somebody has an issue with their lungs, we know to take a look at that. What is the psychosomatic? What is the emotional reason that is most probably at the core of the lung problem? So with lungs, it's been studied and it's now understood that we hold a lot of grief there, a lot of feelings of unworthiness or being not good enough, any sadness, and so the lungs correlate with the heart chakra. So we would know that we could eat, the heart chakra's green, so we could eat any green foods. But then there's also the signature foods. Remember I mentioned that nature's doctrine of signatures is, they understood that every plant has a geometric pattern that corresponds to the geometric presentation of a body organ or part. And so they knew them to be signature foods, or basically medicine for that body part. So with the lungs, it's the red skin potato, and the starch in the potato actually draws out the toxicity of the lungs. And then if you look into the bronchioles, then it's things like broccoli. That's the signature for the bronchial tubes. So yeah, we can take a holistic approach and we can do the emotional healing on whatever that issue is that's created this blockage. Find the degenerative cellular memory and heal that through forgiveness. And then, yeah, use the color green to heal the lungs. So you can even wear green clothes or, you know, put green sheets on your bed. All of it's about vibration, remember. And then you can start eating these red skinned potatoes, or any potato actually, but the red skinned is best, and broccoli, and you know, even do a mono diet on that where you're just eating broccoli, or just, you know, eating broccoli and the potato just for a little while to really give that medicine to your lungs. So that's the lungs. What about we take a look at the ovaries for women? So the ovaries correlate with our sacral chakra, which is all about procreation, sexuality and sensuality. So when we're holding a blockage here, most often it can be around, you know, maybe you've had a bad experience with a male, so that will be held in this chakra, this energy center. Maybe you're suppressing your own creativity because that chakra is always also around creativity. So, and also for a lot of us, we're not embracing our sexuality and our sensuality. And so if you've, you know, really got you know, you really don't like yourself, then this could be also stored in this area, in this energy center, and then manifesting into the organs that correlate with that energy center, such as the ovaries. And so the holistic way to heal this would be, once we've done the emotional process, it would be to, oops, something fell there. It would be to eat the signature food of the olives. As I said, it's the sacral chakra, which is orange in color. So we could eat all of the orange foods and juices. Yeah, so then we've got the body, we've looked at the body, we've looked at the emotional, and then you do the work to clear the sacral chakra. What about the brain? The brain is our central computer. And so if your brain's flooded with negative thoughts consistently, then there's going to be some sort of a shutdown, some sort of a imbalance in that would be, well, the brain, the lower brain is to do with the third eye chakra, the upper brain is the crown chakra. So it could be either of those. So it's negative thoughts, but it's also refusing to change beliefs or thoughts, you know, those patterns or programs that we've had running consistently 7 days a week, 24 hours a day, that are drawing experiences and people to us to affirm that belief. So when we're really stubborn in our ability to change, then that could create a blockage in either of these chakras and then manifest into dis-ease of the brain. The signature food for the brain is the walnut, and then if we're going a little bit deeper and we're looking at the upper brain, then that's the pineal gland. So it would be the pine nut, even like the rock melon seeds. They're the signature for the pineal gland. And then if you're looking at the third eye, the lower brain, then it's the pituitary. So you have things like the blueberry and the macadamia nut. But the walnut is an amazing signature for the brain. When you look at that, it's got the hard shell, like the skull of the brain. And then if you cut it open, it's got the left and right hemisphere. And they knew it was the perfect signature for the brain. And, you know, now people have done studies and see that the omega-3s in nuts are absolutely brilliant and necessary for the brain, for brain health. So yeah, so this is how we can take a holistic approach. Again, we can look at what are we, you know, being stubborn about, or how can we change that and feel safe enough to let go of this old programming. And then we can use the color foods for the crown chakra, which is purple, and then indigo. So we could use that range of blue, purple, indigo foods to heal the brain, as well as the specific signature foods that I just spoke about. So yeah, that's the brain. What else? I spoke in one of my videos about a client that had a lot of hatred in their body, and they were in fetal position in excruciating pain as this hatred was being expressed through an emotional healing session. So let's have a look at the liver. And this can be about holding on to hatred, anger, resentfulness. It can also be if you're, blaming others for the lack of joy in your life. So any of these kind of things will or could create a blockage in the liver, in the solar plexus chakra, which that's navel area, just above the navel, which correlates with the liver and the other organs of the gallbladder and the pancreas and the pancreatic glands, the digestive system, intestines, and also the stomach. So, but quite often we're seeing that the hatred is manifesting, or, a lot of suppressed anger manifesting into liver issues. So we know with the solar plexus, it's around the color yellow. So you could eat all yellow foods. The signature for the liver is actually lemon, because lemon's the only plant food that has something called anions. And what that does is it creates, like the liver does, a bile. And so when we're drinking a cupful of lemon juice every day, it allows the liver to go into kind of just take a holiday and heal itself, because the lemon's still doing the job of the liver. It's just absolutely fascinating. So we can use all yellow foods, but definitely focus on a cupful of a cupful of lemon juice every day in order to heal the liver. Look at those things that you're holding anger or hatred around, or, if there is this feeling of blaming others for your unhappiness. Then work on that chakra and bring balance back to the solar plexus. So this is how we can take a holistic approach to healing. And, instead of just focusing on the physical body or just on the emotional, we're focusing on body, mind, and spirit. I wanted to give you some examples just so you could see that it's how it all fits together. So we've done it in little segments, but now this is how you put it all together and just make it, your daily life, make it the way of living. And, any little feeling that you get in your body, you can start incorporating this straight away. You look at where it's taking place, and then you can look up once we put the book out. It has all the chakras, all the organs for each particular chakra, and you just look it up and you can see, right, this is what I need to heal or prevent disease from manifesting into this part of my body. So it really becomes quite exciting when you have all of the knowledge that is meant to be our birthright, but has purposely been suppressed from us in order to have this sickness industry. And it's $1 trillion a year industry, trillions of dollars a year industry. So so you're going to be very empowered now because you have all of this information, and you can start straight away. For me, if I ever feel something that's not right in my body, if it lasts more than a couple of days, I'll just put myself straight into a water fast. I remember once that I felt this feeling, just kind of felt like reproductive area. It was just, to me, it felt like a fuzziness that shouldn't have been there. And so instead of like going to find something to suppress it, I went straight into a water fast. And after 3 days, I noticed it was still there. And so I kept going, and by 5 days it had gone completely, and then it never returned. So I felt like I was healing something that was starting to manifest within my body by taking that approach. And this is how we can bring about prevention rather than cure, because why would you want to have to cure something or heal something in that way when you can prevent it? So now I thought I would just run quickly through each of the chakras again, the correlating organs, and give you some of the signature foods for those. So if we start down the bottom at the root chakra, ruby red in color, so you can use ruby red fruits and vegetables to heal the organs of the legs, the feet, in fact, the skeletal system, the bones and the muscles, the colon, the adrenals, and the kidneys. So when we look at the kidneys, we've got the beans, the shape of the kidney. This is the signature for the kidneys, especially the kidney bean. The stomach is actually ginger. The colon, it's all about fibre actually, and most things that manifest into disease of the colon on a physical level, it could very well be because there's not enough fibre in the diet. So we've done that. Bones are celery and rhubarb and bok choy, all of those things that you kind of can get it and snap it and they're just like a bone. They're the signature, and they have celery, I know, has a very similar ratio of sodium than what the bones do. So these are all very healing and yeah, very, very healing and act as medicine to those organs. So then we come up to the sacral chakra. This is orange in colour, and the organs here are our reproductive organs. So we have the ovaries and the womb, the cervix, the prostate for men, the testicles, the genitals. There's also the bladder and the spleen correlating to the sacral chakra. And so we can use then the signature food for the for the ovaries is olives. The signature food for the bladder is the cranberry. The signature food for the spleen is yellow, again, like the liver, the yellow foods. For the prostate, it's Don speaks about oats, rolled oats being the healing, very healing for the prostate. And one of his recipes is a rolled oat breakfast, and that's in our book as well, with lemon juice and other things that heal the prostate. So what else did I say here? Bladder, we've said cranberry. Very interesting also that the bladder, when you look at the psychosomatics, it's about being pissed off with something or someone. Same with the bowel, it's holding on to shit. So these psychosomatic things are very literal. The eyes are, what are you not wanting to see? The ears are, what are you not wanting to hear? So when we really start to get a bit of an idea of that, it makes life just so interesting, because it's, as I said last week, we're not kind of looking outside of ourselves and blaming something else all the time. We're understanding that we're the creators of our reality, and why have I attracted this disease into my body? What is it that I'm not wanting to look at if it's your eyes, or what is it that I'm pissed off about if you've got a bladder infection, or yeah, and it just goes on and on. So this is the sacral chakra. We move up then to the solar plexus above the navel, yellow in colour. So the organs and body parts, as I mentioned before here, are the liver, the pancreas and the pancreatic glands, the gallbladder, the stomach and the intestines. So all of these things correlate to the solar plexus. So the stomach, I mentioned before, is ginger, and the intestines, the string beans. The liver is, the liver is the lemon juice, and also yellow. Same with the gallbladder, and the pancreas is actually the sweet potato. So yeah, we can bring all of those foods in for any of those organs. It's, that's the signature food for those organs and is medicine to those particular organs. And then we can use yellow foods that will be healing to all of those organs. So then we move up to the heart, and this is green in colour, so we can use green foods. The organs here are the heart, the thymus gland, the breasts, the arms, the hands, and the heart. The signature here is the tomato and the capsicum. The breasts, if you cut open an orange, then it looks like the mammary glands of the breasts. So citrus is the signature food here for the breasts. Arms, hands, yeah, that's the skeletal. So yeah, we've covered all of that. That's pretty much the signatures for that particular chakra. Then we come up to the throat chakra. This is blue in colour. So blue foods are going to be fantastic. It's the thyroid, parathyroid glands, and it's like the throat, the mouth and the tongue. So the thyroid is like the round mushrooms, the portobello mushrooms. That's the signature food for the thyroid. The mouth and tongue, that's I don't know whether it's a signature, but very healing, is honey, and also Himalayan, like a rock or sea salt, rock salt that you can just suck on. So anything to do with the throat and the mouth. I think that's it for the signature there. Okay, and then we move up to the third eye chakra. The endocrine gland here is the pituitary, so it's the macadamia nut, maybe the chickpea, the blueberry, the pea. So this chakra is also correlating to the lower brain and the nose and the left eye and the ears. The ears, the signature food is like your prune or your date, and also some people say like the mushroom for the ears. Done the lower, we've done the brain, so the lower brain, the walnut. What else have we got there? Also fantastic here for the lower brain, because there's a part of your brain called the amygdala, and this is all about our emotions, regulates our emotions. So the food that's fantastic for that is almonds, and I think that's actually where the word or almond comes from, the word amygdala initially. So these are all going to be healthy and healing to those body parts. Then we come up to the crown chakra, and that's indigo in color, so any of the indigo foods. So then we come up to the crown chakra, purple in color, any purple foods. This is the upper brain. It's also, as I mentioned before, the pineal gland, and it's the central nervous system. So yeah, any of these nuts and berries are going to be really, really healing for that, any of those parts of the body. Yeah, so that gives you a kind of an idea, a bit of a run through of what organs correlate with which chakra. And again, you can see now how you can bring it all together and take a holistic approach to healing yourself, your body, and your loved ones. So I think that's it. I think that's pretty well covered how to heal yourself naturally. And when it comes to drinking water, just make sure that you're drinking, it should be, the ancient wisdom was, 1 litre of water per 22 kilos of body weight. So for most of us, that should be 2 or 3 litres a day. And yet for many of us, you know, many people, they're battling to even have a sip of water a day. So you can see why our body ends up becoming dehydrated and then eventually into a state of dis-ease. So yeah, so this is it. That's how to heal the body naturally. And I hope you found that really informative and feel inspired by this. Hope you enjoy the before and after testimonials. And yeah, I will join you again soon, maybe another week or so, and we'll just do one final summary of it all and maybe chat a little bit about our upcoming book, and then that will be it for me. I'll leave you in peace. Thank you for joining me, everyone. I really hope that you're finding some valuable information here, and that you do find the time to watch this little series in order to empower yourself and, you know, give yourself the gift of this ancient wisdom that really should be our birthright. So lots of love, everyone, and chat soon. Bye-bye.